Hello, welcome to Business Ambassadors. My name is Vali Wolfe and I'm with a travel agent in Carmel, Indiana, and we do all things travel. So since we're getting ready to hit the summer season, as it were, decided to bring along with myself here today Brenda Walters. She works with me at the travel agent in Carmel. She mostly does leisure travel, and so we have a lot of people who might be going for the very first time. And if you've been watching the news, things are not pretty at the airports right now.
Not at all.
We've heard anything up to 6-hour waits at the TSA lines at O'Hare. So we thought we would come and talk a little bit about expectations,
Yes.
what you should do, what you should know.
Yes.
So give us
Arriving
some
early.
advice.
Best advice, arrive early. I don't mean just early, I mean really early. If the airlines want 2-hour advance check-in, be there 3. If they
Yes.
want 3, be there 4. That could be for a smaller airport though, such as Indianapolis. While we have a lot of traffic, we're nothing like Chicago O'Hare.
No.
We're nothing like Atlanta. They've recently been measuring the lines in Atlanta in miles, not in minutes, not in hours, but in miles.
It's getting quite frightening, and
It
we're
is.
hearing lots of scary stories. People sleeping at the airports on cots,
Mhm.
missing flights.
Missing flights.
So it's not been good. I did read this morning that over the weekend, they did hire quite a few new people to be in O'Hare this weekend, and things went rather well.
Good.
What we don't know, is that a temporary fix or could this be permanent? So we're still going to be out there for right now. All the advice we're getting from tour companies, from airlines, from the cruise lines is to go early.
Yes.
Now there's a couple other tricks that you can do, which is to apply for some.
You can apply for the TSA pre-check. The thing that they're telling us at this point, though, that does not guarantee that they're going to get the pre-check. And that's basically because the lines are so long,
Right.
they need more staff. So you can definitely do that. You can get all the details for applying for the TSA pre-check at tsa.gov.
Correct.
One simple website leads you to everything. Or you can, if you travel abroad, you might want to consider the global entry.
Exactly, and that's you start at the same place.
Yes.
I guess the problems we've heard a little bit from that is we've had several calls this week where people have started the process online, which is the only way to start it.
Yes.
We would like to say we could help you, but we're not the government, so we don't get to help. We can only advise you where to start. So tsa.gov is where you start. Then they tell you once you go through the enrollment online, you do have to have a personal appointment.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're hearing is trying to call that phone number.
It's always busy or nobody just answers. It just rings, one of the two.
And
So-
there's really no way around that other than we noticed that you could actually set up an appointment online.
Online.
And so that would probably be the best way to go.
Mhm.
They have specified places to go.
Yes.
I actually had one of my corporate travelers call last week, and he said he went to get this all done, and he waited 5 hours to get the process completed.
Was that with an appointment or did he do a walk-in?
I think he did a walk-in.
Oh.
So I highly recommend an appointment.
Appointments are much better, yes.
And he was in the Chicago area, which is probably a lot busier also than our area. Now, I will tell you, as having been in this industry a very long time, both of us have been in it quite a while, there's not a whole lot of other options, but I do know some of the airports have a company called Clear, and I've recommended that to a couple of clients who might be in and out of the Orlando area, because that's one that's particularly crazy, and then Indianapolis has Clear.
Oh, okay.
It's only 13 airports, but it does cost double what TSA is charging, but it is a completely different process. Now, if I'm a one-time traveler, I'm probably not going to pay that because
No.
I don't think it'd be worth it. But if I'm going to go every week, I might think about something like that. Wouldn't you say that would be a good idea?
I would. Do you know how long the clear is good for? I don't remember.
I think it's just a year
A
at a
year.
time,
Okay.
and they're very expensive. And we believe the TSA is how many?
I think it's good for 5 years.
5 years. So that's the one good part. Once you get it done, you don't have to repeat often. So that's a
Exactly.
good thing. What we do as well is if we are the ones who handle your airline tickets, and you would want to do this whether you happen to call another travel agency, the airlines, or whomever, you definitely want to let them know you have that number, because
Yes.
that gets put in ahead of time so that if you do get the TSA prints out on your boarding pass.
Mhm.
And that's the key to know where to go when you get to the airports.
Right. That way you can get in the correct line and hope for the best, hope that it expedites you that day.
Exactly. And TSA, as we're talking about right now, is all for domestic. So we're
Yes.
talking strictly here in the U.S. You do a lot of international.
I do.
And so the advice out of most international airports has always been,
The global entry.
and the wait time is about, or you should get there ahead.
They
properly.
want you checked in a good 3 hours prior. I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but
Yeah.
it makes much more sense with as full as the flights are these
Yes.
days, because we're narrowing down the number of carriers we have.
Exactly.
So those flights are full. So
Yes.
it makes more sense, get there super early,
Mm-mm.
get
Right.
through security, get to the other side, go have your cup of coffee, your morning
Right.
Danish, whatever it may be, and relax and know that you're where you need to be.
Exactly.
Instead of you're standing in line, the line is long, am I going to make it, am I going to make it?
Yes.
No, I'm not going to make it. Now I've just missed my flight. Now what am I going to do? How am I going to get another one? Are there flights available? Well, yes, but not for 2 days.
Exactly.
And that's all on you. I mean, that is your expense that you just incurred. It's not the airline's going to take it
Exactly.
for you.
And if you're traveling with a family, you're not looking for just one open seat. You might be looking for 4 or 5 seats, and that is so much more difficult.
Very difficult.
So you definitely don't want to take those chances at all. And I will say that from our area, 2 of the most popular destinations domestically would be Orlando and Vegas.
Yeah.
And their security has been awful for a very long time, even before awful became awful.
Correct.
So we definitely want to give you advice when you go, because you may get out of Indianapolis and you may go, well, that wasn't so bad. But let's remember where we're coming home from, because it might be one of those kind of destinations, especially this summer,
Yeah.
that's just over the top.
And I mean, last August, I flew back out of Orlando, and literally the line was a good hour and a half at that point, and everybody's looking at their watches thinking, are they going to make it? And finally, they just started opening another lane. I don't know who gave them the pressure, but you know, they opened another lane and
Exactly.
stopped. They suddenly told a bunch of us, you don't have to take your shoes off, let's just get you through.
Right.
So planning ahead is key for
Is
sure.
key. One of the things that I've been reading is we've been trying to kind of figure out what has caused this, and we've heard possible layoffs with TSA because of budgets and money. So obviously the government's been very involved. I've been seeing how lots of our, legislators are out there trying to work with airport managers, are trying to work with as well the TSA people. So we're seeing that type of thing go on.
Right.
And then they're also talking about the higher fees for checking our bags.
Luggage, yes.
Because then everybody thinks they can take everybody and the grandma in their carry-on and put her over the head.
Yeah.
In the overhead compartment.
Which
and then you
does
go,
that does definitely slow the security lines and getting through, and people planning ahead even just to be conscientious about what they're
Yes.
wearing, the type of shoes they're wearing.
Yes.
The big bulky watch, the big
The big
belt
belt
buckle.
Yeah.
If they can think about it a little bit
Yes.
ahead and keep those items more simplistic, so they're
Yes.
not going to set off the sensors and everything, then that's always a wise thing.
Always.
If you have a medical condition and you've got a card that says, I've got, pins in my hip or something, carry that with you so
Be
that they're
ready.
aware. Yeah, preparation is definitely key.
Exactly. Be ready. It's kind of funny because even the liquids is still an issue.
It is.
So take that. We highly recommend you don't take your gun or your knife. And while
They
we
will
say
stop
that
you.
somewhat jokingly, it's amazing how many they have at airports now. Still, after all these years of going through this, still, huge
It's
amount of weapons are
hundreds a
every
week, I think.
day. Every day. It just is mind blowing.
Yeah.
So while you're sitting there going, trust me, it can happen to you. It happened to one of my regular travelers. He totally forgot he had it in his bag. They frown upon this. You are detained for a long time.
Take you to that little airport jail.
Airport jail. It's not good. So just really think about what you're packing. Don't pack up 5 minutes before you walk out the door. Give it some thought. Keep those big bottles of shampoo at home. Don't take those with you. It just causes so much headaches. And when you're trying with kids, again, really think about what they're wearing too, because we don't
Yes.
want them going beep beep through the scanner as well.
Right, and kind of watch how many toys and things you're letting
Exactly.
the kids take, because I see all the time small children trying to make it through the airport and they're dragging this suitcase, and then they've got a pillow pet and their favorite blanket, and well, they've got that stuffed toy that they like as well, and then they're fumbling through security.
Yeah.
So just be conscientious about what you're doing and what you're taking.
We have to think about others because there'll be a lot
We
of
do.
people behind you waiting their turn.
Probably not so patiently.
Not so patiently, even with their laptops and things. So,
Yes.
so my recommendation is lately is to not pack light, pack good, and pack your patience.
That's good. Definitely pack
Gotta
the
pack
patience.
those patience,
And
so.
arrive early. Definitely early.
Spend your time at the airport, but at least you're going to get where you're going on time.
We hope.
So, thank you.